At Autumn River Taiji, we practice the push hands method taught by Chang Man Ching. This method uses 4 of the 37 postures from the form: ward off, roll back, press and push. The purpose of the exercise is to feel the intention and energy of the other person in order to neutralize their pushes without becoming unbalanced ourselves. We then respond feeling for tension or emptiness, which will make them vulnerable to our own push. The crucial idea here is that yin and yang must coexist. One cannot exist without the other. So, wherever there is force, there must be a corresponding weakness or yin spot, which is vulnerable to attack. The push hand student uses this knowledge to yield to the yang energy of a push and return that energy to the undefended yin spot. The first stage involves learning the push hand sequence with a partner. The key ideas are as follows. First, the feet do not move. This encourages the waist to turn, deflecting the pushes coming from the other person. Second, the arms should be as soft as possible so we have the sensitivity to feel what the other person is doing. Third, the spine should be kept as straight as possible so we can remain rooted and balanced. Push hands is often thought of as the martial component of Taiji, but its application is much wider. By practicing push hands, we come to understand the value of not opposing force with force. Instead, we try to be sensitive to where the energy of a push is going and help it on its way. Then we respond with discernment to push at the most appropriate spot. Over time, this way of being becomes our normal response to conflict or challenging situations. We override the fight-flight response triggered by confrontation, resulting in benefits to our health, relationships, and state of mind. Once the sequence is learned, we can begin to explore the ideas in a softly competitive way. Normally, we take turns in the role of pusher and receiver. The pusher on the right here is no longer merely going along with a prearranged sequence. He is actively trying to push the receiver over. The receiver senses the direction and force of the push and yields by a combination of withdrawing and turning the waist. Blending with the push and returning the energy back will disrupt the pusher's balance, leaving him vulnerable to a counter push. To say the practice is softly competitive means that we should not be straining or using a lot of arm or upper body strength. The reason is twofold. First, hard tense force in the arms is easier to feel and hence can be used against us. Second, we are trying to use the energy of the body in another way. We are accustomed to think of force being generated by muscle and bone, but by correctly structuring the body and using the legs effectively, another way of generating power can be discovered. Called Jin energy, this power is as potent, if not more so, than muscular force, but can be generated with little movement and no tension. When pushed with Jin energy, we cannot feel the force in our body, but we can feel the effect as we are lifted off the ground. We are literally uprooted. A good push will result in both of our feet leaving the ground at the same time. The development of this alternative energy system is one of the main aims of the push hand student. Since you should not be straining, we can continue to develop our understanding of the art well into advanced years, helping us to stay healthy in both body and mind. Perhaps more importantly, the values of flexibility and sensitivity become the norm in our daily lives, leading to greater harmony with ourselves and the Tao.